What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome to a newest episode of the Realistic Rebuilds. And this was kind of a bet I set with one of my IRL buddies that doesn't know I do YouTubes, and he was like, "If Philly loses to Dallas this weekend, you gotta do a Dallas video." I was like, "All right, bet." I feel confident Philly's gonna beat the they lost to the Cowboys. Philly lost to the Cowboys. So here's the Realistic Rebuild of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I knew all along this wasn't going to be a super tough rebuild because the Cowboys ratings guy has about everyone on this team having at least a quick dev. So I firmly believe that Dallas is going to be a powerhouse for pretty much most of this rebuild. But it is what it is. It's all based around this quarterback here, Dak Prescott, 80 quick. Of course, he has a great dev trait. Starting running back, we have Elliott with the superstar dev trait, so it will only be sooner than later before he's a 99. Dak now, I actually don't really know how well he does perform in the sim, but I assume we should be able to make everything work. But then again, it didn't work out with Jameis Winston when we did the Bucks, so who knows. At wide receiver, we got Amari Cooper from the trade. He still has a star dev somehow. That's very fitting. You got Cole Beasley here. He's a little bit older, but still a decent slot wide receiver. Allen Hurns, who has been not really doing much, still has a quick dev. Interesting. You got Terrence Williams here, normal, but you got Michael Gallup, the rookie from Colorado State. Oh, nice, with another quick dev. So lots of really favorable dev traits here, which is only going to help our team out in the long run. Tight end, definitely an area that we need to look at trying to improve. We have three guys here that are young. I actually don't know if anyone has a decent dev trait here. Maybe Gaylor's a converted basketball player, former Baylor. They're all normal, so you know there is an area of concern trying to replace the late great. We call him late just because he retired. Maybe the worst commentator of all time, Jason Witten. We got Tyron Smith. We got Connor Williams, rookie, quick dev, of course. Travis Frederick, we're act like he can come back from, I don't even know, he has like some really rare disease. So we're not gonna lose that. We got Zach Martin. We got La'el Collins with, oh, surprise, surprise, a quick dev as well. So everyone on this offensive line, for the most part, at 27 is the oldest. This is an offensive line that's going to be grouped together, I believe, for quite some time. And probably for the entire rebuild. Maybe year 4 and a year 5. Things should start to be kind of tricky, but we should be fine. We got Demarcus Lawrence, Tank Lawrence, that we are going to have to try and re-sign long-term. He's currently playing the tag with the star dev. They did get Dorrance Armstrong from Kansas. 74 overall at 21. He could be a nice little guy that develops. We got Taco Charlton with, of course, a quick dev, which is pretty dope, pretty easy in terms of development. Randy Gregory, dumbest player in the National Football League. We're actually going to throw him up on the trade block and see if we can get any value for him. D-tackle, we have David Irving, quick dev, surprise, surprise. He's actually pretty good though, even though his inability to stay on the field with suspensions and stuff has probably been frustrating for Dallas Cowboy fans. There is some talent there. Malik Collins, 76 here, not bad. Tyrone Crawford, quick dev, of course. Look at the linebackers. Left side linebacker, not much there, but when you go to the middle linebacker, Jalen Smith is finally starting to maybe put it all together after that horrible injury he suffered at Notre Dame. Quick dev, because of course he should be good long term. We got Sean Lee here. What we're actually gonna do is probably flip the ageless wonder, aka made of glass, Sean Lee. My God, that face scan is pretty harsh looking. Did not do him any favors. We're going to slide him to the other side. We'll go Leighton Vander Esch, who's actually been very, very good. I'm not even going to rip on his dev trade right now. He's been huge for the Dallas Cowboys this season. And he's going to be a monster for us. I think he could definitely push to get a set of golden gloves when all is said and done. Look at the secondary. We got Byron Jones, 89 quick dev, because of course. We got Chidobe Awuzie, quick dev, because of course. Anthony Brown, normal dev, but then you go down here to Jordan Lewis, and he's a quick dev, because it's the Cowboys. Free safety, like Xavier Woods, 23.79. Oh, only a normal dev. That's the first time I've been surprised. But again, with that age, he should be fine. Then it's strong safety here. You got Jeff Heath. Probably need to find a better long-term option there. So in reality, when you're looking at this Cowboys roster, if you get a tight end, you get maybe a safety or two. This team here is pretty much complete. It's pretty much built. I don't know how much rebuilding needs to go on. I'm not foreseeing a lot of big money free agency signings. But let's get into the realistic rebuild here of the Dallas Cowboys and see if we can make them good again. Because the last time, in all reality, that Dallas was good, most of you guys that are watching this weren't even born. Oh, we made a trade here. I'm starting to trade a little bit more, trying to make some moves that would realistically happen, and this was a good one for us. We sent it Williams and Randy Gregory to the Baltimore Ravens for Willie Henry, who's well beyond the depth chart behind Brandon Williams, and Max Williams, the tight end, who's just, you know, surplus requirement. They got like 9 tight ends up there in Baltimore. Max, what do you got? You got Mark Andrews, you got Hayden Hurst. You know, Max Williams is the 4th tight end, so it works out well for both of us. And Willie Henry, we're gonna slide him in at the defensive tackle spot and see what that does. Might give us some cap flexibility with Tyrone Crawford, but we made that move, and now really, hopefully, with Max Williams at that tight end spot in particular, we filled up a spot that we're not gonna have to, you know, go all in a free agency period or the draft and looking at getting Mr. Jason Witten's replacement. At the midway point of year 1, just after the bye, the Dallas Cowboys are 3-4, so we're, you know, roughly on the pace that they are in real life right now, which is good enough to have us at bottom of the NFC East, kind of where Dallas belongs at this given point, where the hole that we're going to try to dig themselves out of, because, you know, it's me. Hey, everybody, it's me here, not the clapper himself, Jason Garrett. But before we do that, we got to look at some contracts. And again, it's me here. It's not Jerry Jones, who's insane. Demarcus Lawrence absolutely needs to come back at 26. He's a franchise player. This guy's one of the best edge rushers, so we'll have to come back to the table. Cole Beasley's super old, so he's expendable. David Irving, he's a big-time player at D tackle. He needs more money, I guess. Max Williams actually played pretty well. Maybe this is why the Ravens were so inclined to getting rid of him in that trade, because he was in the last year of his deal. Then other than that, look at this, Cam Fleming. They gave him a quick dev, and oh my god, man, the Dallas Cowboys ratings, guys, garbage. Either way, yeah, we're gonna try and get back David Irving and Demarcus Lawrence, but we'll let Cole Beasley go. With the emergence of Michael Gallup out of Colorado State, he probably can take over that slot role, and or Allen Hurns. So at the end of the season, year number 1, not really that great, 7-9. I'm already starting to get, you know, some vibes from the Bucs where maybe just Dak Prescott's. I mean, most of us watching this, even if Cowboy fans, most Cowboy fans are coming around, Dak's probably not the answer. And if he's not going to work out here in the Madden sim, we're not going to be a Jerry Jones. We're not going to commit to him long term. So yeah, we'll be keeping tabs on some available quarterbacks. Looking at our player upgrades, one big notable one to talk about, Jalen Smith, the middle linebacker for Notre Dame. Got Pro Bowl, got linebacker of the year, and a star dev increase, which is pretty huge. You know, he's busted his ass, man. He's one of those guys that it makes. I remember when Dallas picked him, and so many people were worried because he hurt himself. It was like kind of the beginning of good players sitting out bowl games and stuff like that, like meaningless bowl games, and really affecting their draft stock. It was one of the few times I gave the Dallas Cowboys a round of applause for drafting him, and I'm glad that he is in real life starting to play a little bit better. Maybe this rating's a little overhyped in Madden, but he definitely is a contributor to that defense now. And you know, it's very hard for me as an Eagle fan to pull for from some of the Dallas Cowboys to do well, but Jalen Smith definitely is at the top of that list. So here we are. Didn't make the playoffs. In terms of contracts, we got everyone re-signed except David Irving, so we're going to franchise tag him because, you know, why not? We have some cash. Taking a look at the stats on the year, Dak Prescott was dog shit, 31st in yards, 23rd in touchdowns. 25-11 is not terrible, but not good enough for him. Zeke went off, 1,700 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns. Definitely one of the best totals we've seen from a running back. And even Rod Smith, 308. He's contributing pretty nicely. On the receiving front, Amari Cooper, 75 catches, 940 yards, 12 touchdowns. And I think there's a legit shot we can get Amari Cooper to a 99 in this rebuild. Hurns wasn't too bad. I mean, Zeke combined was pretty crazy, over 2,000 total yards. Defensively, Jalen Smith, 127 tackles, 8 TFLs, 3 sacks, 4 picks is a monster year. 10.5 sacks, 19 tackles for loss from Lawrence. Crawford had a good year. David Irving had a good year. Sean Lee was productive. And thank God Sean Lee's just praying to the Lords that we had injuries turned off. But Jalen Smith led the team, 4 picks. Byron Jones had 4, 2 from Anthony Brown, and a couple singles. Look at the yearly awards here. MVP went to Tom Brady, with Ezekiel Elliott coming in at number 5. In the NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Zeke came in at number 2. Defensive Player of the Year went to Jordan Hicks. Jalen Smith at number 3. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Saquon Barkley. We had no one. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Dante Jackson, with Leighton Vander Esch coming way, way down there at number 10. But, you know, it's a good start, man. This roster's already very sick. It's really young. And the fact that we're 87 overall, 91 offense, 89 defense, we're probably I mean, unless Dak can put it together, we're a quarterback away from having one of the best rosters in the game. So let's hop into the offseason, see what kind of moves we can make, and have a good draft. So in free agency, essentially all the money that I was willing to spend went to franchise tagging David Irving. But our draft recap, pretty much how I think Dallas's draft might go in real life. In the first round, we got Noah Fant, the tight end from Iowa. 77 quick dev, the burner, 88 speed, 89 acceleration. Might be the fastest tight end since, you know, I mean, he's obviously like 10, 15 pounds heavier than Evan Ingram. But he's in that Evan Ingram, Vernon Davis territory of athletic freaks. So, yeah, we did make the move for Max Williams, but I think having 2 tight ends is going to benefit this team. But Noah Fant is an electrifying player that we can, you know, I think it definitely has a higher upside than Max Williams. In the second round, we got Damien Harris to come in, 71 star dev to come in and be a replacement for, well, not, I mean, Rod Smith's still on the roster, but I mean, that second running back that can help Ezekiel Elliott out. Third round, we get DeAndre Walker from Georgia. Fourth round, we got a potential quarterback option here. Tyree Jackson from Buffalo, 71 quick, 6'7", 245 with an absolute cannon. Could be our potential replacement for Dak Prescott if things don't work out. Lester Cotton, Winston Dimmel, and we got Four Eyes himself, Rodrigo Blankenship, the kicker from Georgia, because that Maher guy that they have is a 29-year-old like rookie. No, thank you. So adding Noah Fant, Damien Harris, Tyree Jackson. It was a good draft. It was a very good haul here for the Dallas Cowboys, retaining David Irving as we look to do much better in year 2. Year number 2 is upon us, and here is our roster. 91 offense, 89 defense on the offensive side. No real changes to make note of. No more Cole Beasley. We need Michael Gallup to step up. Noah Fant and Max Williams. I'm going to make Noah Fant our starting tight end. Offensive line remains the same. Hoping a little bit more development out of Connor Williams. I thought he would have done better with that quick dev. Only a 76 right now. I expect Lael Collins at 78 to break that 80 threshold. Defensive line, pretty good, pretty young. In the secondary, Jones, Brown, and Awuje are developing nicely along with Woods and Jordan Lewis. We have now moved to free safety. Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith are going to be monsters. It's going to be like right now the biggest issue is going to be re-signing all these guys. We have the talent to win. It's going to be making it work on the books. And we're not Jerry Jones, so we should be able to make it work. As we're in year 2, it would be nice to challenge for a playoff spot, but ultimately this team will go as far as Dak Prescott will take us. But with Tyree Jackson here, 71 quick, I'm going to be honest. If at the midway point we're below 500 or well below 500, Dak's not doing well, I will throw in Tyree Jackson, and we'll see if he can be, you know, Tony Romo 2.0 and take over for the starter. And the rest is history. Coming over the bye, we are 4-3 on the season, which is tied for second in the NFC East. It's going to be a close race, so I don't know if now's the time to move on from Dak. The only reason why we could move on from Dak is what happens when we talk about this contract. So, first up, Mr. Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, sir, you need to come back. Oh, God, these guys are going to be bending us on over, aren't they? Okay, Amari Cooper is still having a star dev, even though he hasn't had really a monster year yet. I mean, the total touchdowns was pretty big, but the yards weren't great. But there we go. We got him locked in. Byron Jones. Yes, please. Okay, he's going to bend us over. Jalen Smith. Yes, sir. We need to get you back for sure. You're developing nicely. David Irving playing on the tag. Let's knock that down a couple of points. There we go. Anthony Brown has also been pretty well. And that's an affordable deal. Under $15 million. What else we got here? Willie Henry at D tackle. Oof, we gotta make some decisions. We could probably keep throwing all this money around here. Between Hearns and Sean Lee. Sean Lee wants 2 years, it'll be 35. I mean, his regression's not bad. We'll see if he'll take this deal. I will, but if not, I'm gonna have to let him go. We gotta get younger, and of course he did. Between these 3, Collins does have that quick dev, so we'll see if we can retain him. He won't. We traded for Willie Henry at D tackle. It's not. I don't think it's the be-all end-all there. So what about Allen Hurns? Allen Hurns, third wide receiver, $20 million is kind of expensive. $70 million for Dak Prescott. What are his stats like? Let's see what if Dak has good stats, I'll give him that money. If not, we're going Tyree Jackson. If Dak has respectable 18 and 12, 13 touchdowns, those aren't bad. God damn it. I don't want to do that. Man, that's a tough decision. I feel like we kind of have to play Dak Prescott if he's playing like that. That's okay. We'll see if we can get Willie Henry on this. That's not a terrible deal. If he wants to take it, there we go. Now the question becomes, if Dak doesn't want to take this, that's a lot of money for a normal dev player. He lost his dev trait. You know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. Here's the only logical way. We're going to go and we're going to make Tyree Jackson the starter for the next 3 games. We'll see what his stats are, and if they're dog shit, we'll pay Dak Prescott. If they're all right, I'm not paying $70 million for Dak Prescott. Tyree Jackson's gone 2-0 in his 2 games, beat the Packers, beat the Eagles, and got Player of the Week. We're going Tyree Jackson. This 6'7" monster from Buffalo is our new starter. Say bye to Dak Prescott and that $70 million contract. That is ludicrous. That $70 million contract that Jerry Jones would pay for his bust ass, we're not gonna. You're welcome, Cowboy fans. I'm gonna painfully probably win you guys a couple Super Bowls here. Especially with all that money, with all that talent we're still got to pay, $70 million. Basically, we either sign Dak Prescott or down the road, we're going to be able to retain a bunch of those studs on defense. He's a god. Tyree Jackson, 6 touchdowns. 2 picks, yeah, but 6 touchdowns and a 45-20 victory. My God. We hit the jackpot. I think we hit the jackpot. Sucks that it's with Dallas, but we hit the jackpot. The end of the season, 10-6, and we're in the wild card against divisional rival Washington Redskins, which is dope. Looking at the upgrade players, Tyree Jackson with the +2, getting the NFL passer rating leader, getting the offensive rookie of the year. No dev trait boost, which is a little annoying because a star dev would have made this just absolutely perfect. But look at it, how well he performed this season is pretty ridiculous. That in literally 8 games. 29 touchdowns. Like, those are Patty Mahomes numbers. Like, you could fathom that if he started the entire season, he would almost essentially add Dak Prescott's totals to his numbers. So that'd be around 3,900 passing yards, 40+ touchdowns, 4 picks. So Tyree Jackson's an animal, and if you're using my draft classes, hey, maybe he'll work out for you too. 1,700 yards, 9 touchdowns from Ezekiel Elliott. On the receiving front, no 1,000-yard receiver. Noah Fant as a tight end. Great rookie season, though. Another exceptional year. 73 catches, 700 yards, 8 TDs. 850 and 9 from Cooper. Hearns is there. 850 and 11 from Gallup. Zeke Elliott got 7. Jesus. Zeke's a monster. Defensively, Jalen Smith led the team with 104 tackles. Also had 3 interceptions. 16 TFLs, 6.5 sacks from Tank Lawrence. Irving with 13 and 5. Definitely down from a year before. Same with the interceptions. Xavier Woods leading the team with 4. Couple 3s. I mean, that's not so bad. Quick look at the yearly awards. MVP went to Todd Gurley, with Ezekiel Elliott coming in at number 5. NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Todd Gurley, with Zeke at number 2. Runner-up yet again. Defensive Player of the Year went to Eric Kendricks. Jalen Smith at number 9. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Tyree Jackson for playing half the year. Look at that rookie class. My God, what were we, like the Saints from 2 years ago? Noah Fant at 2, Harris at 3, Winston Dimmel at 7. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Amari Oruwariye. We had no one, unfortunately, but still one hell of a season. We made the playoffs. I don't know how well Tyree Jackson is going to do in the sim, like we do the play the moment sim, because they're different beasts. But here's hoping we at least get one playoff win and set the tone for year 3 as our new starting franchise quarterback. All right, big-time matchup for big-time players, and Tyree Jackson is that as the Dallas Cowboys open up their opening drive with 7, but Washington's able to equalize here and get a 7-point lead. Oh, no, our defense is kind of choking right now. Is Sean Lee not on the field? Get Sean Lee out there, all right? Down 2 scores here, but our offense is trying our best to keep us in it. 21, almost over 50 points scored in the first half, so not a lot of defense being played back and forth as Dallas gets 2 quick scores in the third quarter to gain the lead. Oh, we need a big fourth quarter. This is where our youthful team with not a lot of playoff experience is a little bit worried. Look at this, man. No defense being played, 48-48. And we have the ball in Tyree Jackson's hands. We have to punt it. Instant touchdown from the Redskins, making it 55-48. And Tyree Jackson leads it down the field. It's a 55-55 overtime thriller. We got the ball in overtime. Any points wins it. And Dallas, oh my God, I never thought I'd get excited over a Cowboy victory. Outscores. What is this, the Big 12? Outscores the goddamn Redskins 58-55. Tyree Jackson in his first playoff appearance. 450 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott goes for 200 yards as the Dallas Cowboys are moving on to the NFC Divisional Round. Whew, what a game. That's the craziest sim game we've had all year. Maybe the craziest sim game we've ever had in a realistic rebuild. In the Divisional Round, we have the Rams. Very good Rams. They're 14-2. But we have Tyree Jackson. That's more important. As the Rams, we trade some instant touchdowns. Okay. 10-7 in the first. See a little defense here, especially considering our defense is really good from our ratings. It's got 90 overall defense, giving up 50-some points. It's not the best, not ideal, and we're settling for field goals in this game, so it's over. We lost it, but, you know, we had that first very exciting game, which was interesting, and it was pretty fun, and, you know, now you're just going to, you know, let Madden do Madden, and, you know, we're going to lose, so... there you go. There's the quick turnover that usually happens in the sim. Oh, multiple quick turnovers. As our defense, that is I think 89 overall, maybe 90, gives up over 100 points in 2 playoff games combined. Very frustrating. Let's get into the offseason. Let's not even worry about it because the sim's fucking terrible. All right, that was yet another free agency period that wasn't worth spending any money because I know that next year, or just, you know, throughout the season, the upcoming season, we're going to be throwing around money, keeping our own players. So we need to rely on a good draft class. Our draft class was meh, to be honest with you. Like, look at the late rounds. We got Josh Medalist from Michigan, 70 overall. Caleb Kelly, 70 linebacker. Still trying to find Sean Lee's replacement. I don't think we have it. Second round, we got Death Kevin Throckmorton from Oregon. Well, the best pick of the bunch was at pick 25 in the first round. Basically need a replacement for Allen Hurns. And we got C.D. Lamb, the burner from Oklahoma, 75 star dev, 93 speed, 94 acceleration, 81 catching. Big-time player to help out, especially with the 97 or 98 throw power that Tyree Jackson has. It's a lethal combination. Let's get into year 3. Year 3, and we are looking at finally capitalizing here on this team, that youthful team that's still a 93 offense, 91 defense. Zeke's up to a 97. Only really changes outside of obviously Tyree Jackson becoming our new outright starter. C.D. Lamb, we got Gallup now as our outside wide receivers. No more Allen Hurns. Offensive line remains the same. Defensively, again, no real changes yet again. Sean Lee, his replacement is still up in the air. Little question marks there. But outside of that, we have lots of depth and foreseeable future starters at pretty much every position. Great scheme fits on both. So again, let's try to have another playoff run. Coming out of the bye as we are here in week number 10, 4-4 on the season. Not really where we want to be, but still not out of contention in the NFC. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We have 93-93, and we're 4-4, but sometimes the Madden sim works in mysterious ways. Now, here's why we have not been signing very many free agents, because we want to have the bank to be able to re-sign all of our young in-prime players. So we're pretty much going to just reload our secondary here. We'll have to go back to the negotiating table with Chidobe Awuzie. Let's get Taco Charlton lined up now. These guys have been losing their dev traits, which, you know, I don't hate. But, yeah, we signed Jordan Lewis. Again, most of our core young players on defense remain intact, and that's better than just spending money frivolously in free agency for the sake of spending money. Head of year 3, and hey, you might be saying to yourself, C4, how's a team that has a 97 offense and 95 defense go 7-9? I say, well, you, sir, have not played enough Madden 19 franchise mode where it's completely random. That sucks. I mean, our team's really good. 2 players on the fringe, 3 players really on the offensive side that are on the fringe of getting their gold gloves, and Cooper, Zeke, and Zach Martin. Defensively, everyone's coming along nicely. It's just... I mean, ultimately, probably if this was trying to find a way in real life, you know, Jason Garrett's not a good coach, but, man, it is what it is, man. Even the eves and flows of the game is just going to be random. Tyree Jackson, good year, 3,700 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not really the pace he set last season, but still pretty good. 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns from Zeke. Acceptable, no 1,000-yard receivers, but a pretty good unit as a whole. 120 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 picks from Jalen Smith. 11 TFLs, 13 sacks from Tank Lawrence. We needed that kind of production out of him. 3 picks for Byron Jones leading the team. Definitely need more turnovers in the secondary, considering we got all those studs there. Pretty much the average overall in our secondary is like 87. Sean Watson got himself an MVP award. NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Todd Gurley. We had no one. Oof. Defensive Player of the Year went to Marshawn Lattimore. We had Jalen Smith at number 9. Offensive Rookie of the Year, CeeDee Lamb coming in at numero deuce. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, we had no one. So all in all, just a complete write-off of a year. And that's not words you want to say when your team's a 93 overall. You expect to be competitive, but, I mean, it's the Madden Sim. It is what it is. And I definitely like to remind everyone that in November, the big title update for the Madden games in November had no improvements to franchise mode or gameplay. Just Ultimate Team. Cheers. So after what continued a stretch of I just don't care about any of these free agents again, not helping out my team whatsoever, we had a very good draft class. In the first round, we know the biggest thing has been trying to find Sean Lee's potential replacement. And I think we got it. Aaron Pope, 80 quick dev out of Wisconsin. 91 hit power, 88 tackle, pretty good athlete. More so, you know, the tough grinder type linebacker, but he's going to be a great fit to this defense. Second round, we got Rashad Ferguson, 77 overall wide receiver from Hawaii. Third round, just getting backup quarterback, CJ Fitch, 75 from Clemson, 94 throw power, common trait. Running back here in the fourth round, 75, couple more 70s. It was just going best player available in this draft, but ultimately we wanted to hit on a linebacker, and we got him. So we enter year 4, this free agency-less team, because, you know, we are going to have some pretty big contracts, I think, this upcoming season. And then, you know, whatever we have left as we go into year 5, because let's be honest, probably have to go to year 5, because, you know, this team's 97 offense, 95 defense, probably going to struggle to get to 500. Our roster still looks really, really good. So no changes on the offensive side of things. We're going to be keeping rocking and rolling. Noah Fant's looking good. Everyone on the offensive line's in the 80s. Tyree Jackson as well into the 80s. Defensively, 95. Sean Lee retired. So that's why I'm very glad that we got Aaron Pope here. 80 quick linebacker. Hopefully can mesh in well with Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith and form one of the best linebacking cores in the league. Defensive line is solid. Secondary, very solid, very consistent. Again, doesn't make sense why this team's struggling, but there is a place just deep, deep, dark down in my stomach right now that is enjoying this results. As we come out of the bye here in year 4, much better record, 5-2-1, as we head to this Week 10 matchup, divisional matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. We are currently leading the NFC East, and again, you're seeing why we're not spending money in free agency, because we got some big money to throw around. Leighton Vander Esch, absolutely, he's been a monster, been a stud for us. Michael Gallup's been a very good wide receiver option. Keep throwing money around. Connor Williams, consistent starter on the offensive line. And look, we've had, well, we'll have to go back, hit the negotiate here. Well, we've had no problem re-signing these young, expensive players because, you know, like, again, not spending money stupidly. But I think that, you know, entering year 5, we lock down Connor Williams. Then that's the time to jump into free agency, maybe bring in that final player that could give us over the edge. But 5-2-1 right now, who knows? This could be the Super Bowl year for the Cowboys. The first of many, we get our gold glove ceremony on the offensive line. This very hyped up Dallas Cowboy offensive line. This is the guy that absolutely year in, year out lives up to said hype, Mr. Zach Martin. So it does not give me any pain to reward him with these gold swagged out cleats. These gold swagged out gloves, wherever they are, the 99 Club Vapor Jets. Man. Boom. Congratulations. Our second gold glove ceremony of the season, and it goes to Mr. Ezekiel Elliott, who's been able to keep his hands off the female bodies and earn himself lots of consistent playing time, which awards him with the 99, which again has I have no real issue giving Ezekiel Elliott a 99 as long as, you know, he stays by the clean and narrow instead of going out super late at night getting involved in mischievous actions. Just, you know, going to Cabo, playing some Red Dead, simple stuff like that. And at season's end, we find a way to get into the playoffs with the ugliest record, 8-7-1, which is good enough to win the terrible NFC least. Anyone have a good year? No, everyone just got +1, so, you know, probably just going to be an average season, but at least we made the playoffs. At least we got a divisional title. Another just solid year from Tyree Jackson. I'm never going to expect crazy passing yards. Like, it's going to be rare to see 4,000+ yards right now. It's not the Tony Romo Cowboys. This is a Cowboys team that runs the ball first. Zeke Elliott, really good season. No 1,000-yard receivers. Kamari Cooper has been pretty consistent, though, with his touchdown numbers. Jalen Smith, 115 tackles. Great year. Same with Leighton Vander Esch. Taken over since Sean Lee retired. 13 TFLs, 12.5 sacks from Demarcus Lawrence. good years from Choco Charlton and David Irving. 3 picks from Jalen Smith. Again, that's pretty much the biggest surprising thing right now with this defense is that when you really look at it, we're getting very little in terms of turnovers. And we're a 99-99. We have a 96, a 91, an 87 slot with an 88 free and a 92 strong, and we're not getting any turnovers in that secondary. Doesn't make sense. So let's get to the playoffs here. Let's take on the Green Bay Packers. Because it's only year 4, I figure our 99-99 should do all right in the sim, and we don't have to play in this. Let's be completely honest. The least amount of actual gameplay with the Dallas Cowboys that I have to play, I have to endure, probably the better, even though I am a little excited with my Tyree Jackson experiment kind of panning out, or at least not bringing back Dak Prescott. But till that happens, man, we need to get some more playoff wins, and this 99-99 is playing like a 77-77. So again, need to remind you as we go through this, the hyped up big Madden 19 November title update had no changes to anything in franchise mode because clearly everything here is working as intended. I'm just going to go play in traffic before we jump into year number 5 because that's more realistic and funner than this Madden sim. Year 5, all or nothing, so we're finally going to spend some money in free agency. First up, Derek Nottie to come in and pair with David Irving in the interior of that defensive line, and then Von Miller, bring someone with some Super Bowl pedigree to play on the outside linebacker spot. So after bringing in both Nottie and Von Miller, here was our draft class. We got Banani, we'll go Banani, 78 normal out of Texas A&M linebacker. Just got quarterback. This guy was best looking guy, AA, so I figured, you know, whatever. Let's just help my, if we're playing draft wars here, help my score out. 78 quick. We got a 73 tackle here in the 3rd round, 73 wide receiver in the 5th round, Isaiah Stokes, and the rest is just doesn't matter because it's year 5. Here's it. Here's our last chance. Here's the best roster we could put forth to try and have a chance at winning in the sim. It's only almost a perfect 99 everything. Tyree Jackson at quarterback, Zeke's 99, Mari Cooper's 96. We got Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, 87 and 86 respectively. Everyone on the offensive line is good except, I mean, La'el Collins, and that's still not even a liability. Noah Fant's an 85. Beautiful. He's been playing really well. On the defense, we add Derek Nottie in at D tackle to slide in there with David Irving, and even Henry can get involved on a rotation. Tank Lawrence, 93. Double 90s at corner, and Byron Jones, 95. At Chidobe Awuzie, 91. Jones is Anthony Brown Stories an 87, almost double 90s at the safety. Wouldn't be surprised to see Lewis actually get into that 90s. Van Der Esch 94, Jalen Smith 93, Von Miller 94. I mean, there's not anything else we could do to try to make this Dallas Cowboy team better than what it is. So, fingers crossed. And we're here at season's end, 8-8. Huh? How we were 6-2 at the midway point. I'll tell you that right now. We were 6-2 at halfway, and then we finished 8-8. And we're luckily we barely made in the playoffs with perfect 99 and a 96 overall. This game's working as intended. That's great. That's awesome. And not only that, not only with my 99-99, I thought I might get that first round bye, so it limits how many games I actually have to play at the Dallas Cowboys. Oh no, get the wild card. Go the long route. You know, the hard long route. Get the scenic route to the goddamn Super Bowl. Tyree Jackson, just actually not that great of a season, kind of plateaued a little bit, but more so is that we're getting the same kind of production, if not slightly better than what we'd get with Dak Prescott for a 1/7 of the price, which is allowed us to build this team up. Zeke had another good year, 1,508, no 1,000-yard receiver, but CeeDee, I mean, everyone else, it was a collective unit that was good. Van Der Esch led the team with 106 tackles. Guys at the quarterback, Von Miller coming over, kind of a mercenary role, 14 TFLs, 14 sacks, 13 from Tank Lawrence. David Irving had a nice year. Again, interceptions just doesn't make sense. The secondary is almost the strength of the defense, just falling behind the linebackers, and they're not playing like it. Yearly awards, MVP went to Todd Gurley, and we had no one. Doesn't really matter. Let's get ready for this deep playoff run and see if we can painfully try and get the Clapper and the Dallas Cowboys a Super Bowl title for the first time in a very, 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 very long time. Terrible overthrow. I think if you actually make that a somewhat not garbage pass, Noah Fant can make a play on it. Terrible throw. So the run game just not existing in Madden is kind of frustrating considering that's how this team should be built. So we are having to throw it up quite a few times, but it works there as we get the opening touchdown of the game in the dying moments of the first half. All right, now we're down 14. 3rd and 1. Surely with one of the most overpowered runs in the game, we can get a first down. Oh my god, and we fumbled. This game's unplayable. Man, I'm seeing why. If you're Madden, it's completely unacceptable to accept the fact that NCAA Football 14 has a more vibrant community, franchise mode-wise, than Madden does right now on YouTube. Because this gameplay is terrible, man. It's so boring. It's not fun at all. There we go. 1st and goal on the 7. It will hit Noah Fant. Tie this game up as we enter the 4th. Love that tackle animation. Love it, man. Had a touchdown. Murder my player. Paralyze him from the waist down. Oh, there we go. 1st and goal from the 11. Another touchdown. All right, Cooper. This should seal the deal. I hope so I don't have to play any more of this game. Oh, they got a touchdown. Awesome. Okay, let's go. A minute to go. Let's try to win this. All right, field goal to win it. Old Four Eyes from the University of Georgia. Can he nail it? With zeros on the clock, he does, as the Dallas Cowboys, it wasn't the 55-48 or whatever shootout it was the first time, but the Dallas Cowboys move on to the Nfc Divisional Round. Nice game for Tyree Jackson. Almost 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think he had 2 interceptions, though, which was kind of ugly. Noah Fant almost had 200 yards. I don't know why they're not showing him in the player stats, but good riddance to that game. I can't do it. I can't do it. I recorded some NCAA right before this, and this gameplay is so not fun right now that I can't play the full game. We'll play the moment, see what our team can do. We'll step in when need be, but I don't think I can play another game right now. I am talking like, oh my god, he's got to stop playing Madden. No, I play Madden all year round. While some of these game changes and all these other people end up playing 17 different games and abandoning Madden after like 2 months, I play it year round because I'm stubborn like that. But it's never a fun time when you play some NCAA 14, like a 6-year-old game, and then you come on Madden and it's just, wow, what happened? What happened to get to this point? But our team's doing pretty well here. We kicked the field goal and we win just like that. We held the Rams offense. It's Tyree Jackson, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zeke went for 181 as the Dallas Cowboys, this 99-99 team, is heading to the Super Bowl. Oh, I just jinxed it because we're actually heading to the NFC Championship game. So because I just said that, probably gonna lose. NFC Championship game against the Chicago Bears. 2 of the most iconic franchises in the NFC. And Dallas jumps up to a 14-0 lead, 17-0. My God. Let them breathe. We are suffocating the Chicago Bears right now. They were able to, get a couple points here at the end of the first half, but this is ugly. Our team's actually, like this, I'm not going to be dead ass honest with you. This is how my team should sim 90% of the time if I have a 99 offense and a 99 defense. The fact that this is a rare occurrence is just one of the very many reasons that franchise modes is pretty frustrating. But we put up 47 points. Just relentless attack as we are heading to the Super Bowl. 5 touchdowns on the day for Tyree Jackson. 150 rushing yards for Ezekiel Elliott, as it looks like we're going to be taking on the very familiar foe, Jacksonville Jaguars, in the Super Bowl. Let's go. Let's get this 8-8 Cowboys team to the Super Bowl. They get the instant touchdown. Let's go. 14-0 lead. Our defense is playing good. Our offense is moving the ball. We got 2 instant touchdowns. What luck. Get that horseshoe out of our butts. 3rd down. We're going to come in here, get a little gameplay. If it's 3rd and goal on the 1, I have never ran this. I don't think I've ever run a C4 special with this famed Dallas Cowboy offensive line and Mr. Ezekiel Elliott. But we're going to try it out. We're going to see how well it feels. I guarantee it's going to feel pretty great. This is the one time I'm on the dark side, and it didn't feel pretty great. You know what? How do I do this? I want to play this. We're going for it. I'm playing the full game. We're not kicking a field goal. There's no way you are stopping this running team in this scenario back-to-back times. I know it's the Jags defense. I just refuse to accept that this is the result here. It's the result. Little did I know, that's the result we have to accept. So frustrating. I mean, this was that the tie that's going to turn this ball game? Maybe, maybe not. We're able to punch it in for a touchdown. Now the defense is starting to shit the bed. I don't know who their quarterback is. Probably Blake Bortles of some sort. But it would be nice to get a dub. Fourth down. Okay. I mean, it would have been nice to just kind of win a Cowboys Super Bowl for my win-loss record. But, you know, it's probably was never going to be meant to be. How fitting. There we go. Game over. Yeah, man, I guess, I don't know. It's Madden sucks right now. Madden's not in a good spot. I feel like this is just, I gotta apologize to everyone. First of all, I don't need to apologize for shit, kind of like Conor McGregor, because I made a lot of big, bold decisions on this Cowboys rebuild. I gave them a 99 offense and 99 defense. I did my part on rebuilding the Dallas Cowboys. I got them a new franchise quarterback that played better than Dak Prescott for 1/10 of the price. I built up everything. I was able to retain our players. The gameplay could not carry up their end of the bargain. And I don't really want to play with Dallas. Everyone knows that. And the reason why you didn't see me just suck it up and play more gameplay is because I'm recording this on the tail end of the Madden November title update, which was hyped up to be, you know, a really big one, which we could assume, which we shouldn't have because assuming makes an ass of you and me, was going to be gameplay or at least something for gameplay and franchise, maybe fix the run game at the least. And we got nothing. So I'm just in a really frustrating mood with Madden. And that was my fault coming into the video like that. But I still think we did our part rebuilding the Dallas Cowboys, making them an amazing team. And unfortunately, the gameplay suffered, which is the epitome of Madden 19 in its current state. Like I said, I recorded an NCAA rebuild before this, and I actually enjoyed it. It was really fun. This one here, I enjoyed the team building aspect. I enjoyed everything about this rebuild from a sim standpoint, from building it. It's just the gameplay was so, it just feels like a chore. That's the only thing. It feels like a chore right now. And I'm sure for next week's rebuild, you know, everything will settle. The dust will have settled, and I'll be at least in the mood to be playing Madden right now. But after this November update, it left a bad taste in my mouth, and just wasn't in the mood right now to play with this broken gameplay. So let me know in the comment section below, guys, what team you want to see on next week's rebuild. Hopefully, you know, if we make another 99-99, they're actually going to play like it and not limp into the Super Bowl as an 8-8 team, you know? But hope you guys did enjoy this. As always, if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. And I'll catch you back here next weekend for a new and hopefully far more fun, gameplay-wise, and successful realistic rebuild. Peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking the talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid, Mr. Consistent, I'm doing it big. Way too persistent on taking your bitch. Here comes a monster to scare all you kids. Y'all scared, y'all scared.